Someone left a comment on one of my videos the other day, and it blew my mind because I had no idea. So we're going to dig into it right now. Now, we learned the other day that the well represented salvation and the fresh water represented eternal life. Well, did you know that there are 4 men in the Bible who met women at the well? First, it was Abraham's servant. He met Rebekah, that's Isaac's future wife, by the well. Now, Rebekah drew water from the well and gave it to the servant and his camels. He had 10 camels, by the way. And the camel represents wealth and endurance. The servant gives her bracelets and an earring as a dowry. It was worth about a half shekel of gold or something. Now, the servant asks for Rebekah's hand from her family on Isaac's behalf. And then Isaac and Rebekah get married. But we got to dig deeper. What is that really saying? Abraham is the father who had the promise given to him for his descendants. So the father of promise sends a messenger, his servant, to find a bride for his son. At the well of salvation, eternal life is offered and accepted if you endure. The camels. The groom commits to provide for his bride. A binding contract is made and a wedding happens. What? The next one to run into a woman at the well was Jacob. That's where he meets Rachel. He meets her near the well. Jacob rolled a stone, what? From the mouth of the well. Who else rolls a stone in front of Jesus' tomb? Get it? Now, the water is drawn to feed the flock. Again, there's a connection to flock. This is her father's flock of sheep. Jacob kisses Rachel, which is a promise / covenant. He kisses her and he lifts up his eyes and he sighs. If you go look up what the words mean for kisses and lifts up his eyes and even sighs, go look at what those means. Trust me, it was a covenant. A dowry is agreed upon via the 7 years of labor. Now, Jacob then marries Leah. 7 days later, he marries Rachel. We know the story. But let's dig deeper. What it's saying is the patriarch of Israel, right, finds a bride, rolls away the stone representing freely allowing our sin to be overtaken by Jesus, right? At the well of salvation, eternal life is offered and accepted by the flock. A covenant is made, a dowry is agreed upon, and a wedding happens. And then we have Moses meeting Zipporah by a well. Now, maidens drew water to feed their father's flock, yet again with the father's flock, but are driven away by shepherds. I mean, are you guys getting this? But Moses helps them and watered their flocks. He delivered them from the shepherds. It says that. Dude, I'm not even making things up. The father invites Moses to eat bread with them. He was content to dwell with them, and he's given Zipporah to wed. Moses is a typology for Jesus. Let's dig deeper. At the well of salvation, eternal life is offered, but Satan drives away the flock. Jesus stops him and feeds the Father's flock. He is invited to break bread in the Father's house. Jesus is the bread of life, you guys. He was pleased to dwell with them, and in him it pleased the Father that all fullness dwell. That's what it says in the Bible. And then a wedding. And the last person to meet a woman at the well was Jesus himself. He meets a Samaritan woman at the well. Now, interestingly, he meets her at Jacob's well, and Jesus sat on the well because he's the salvation. And he offers the gift of God and eternal life. He said, if you knew, then you would know. And that the only way to receive it is through him. The woman drew men to Jesus. She went out and told them and said, is this not the Christ? And she drew men to him. And just so you know, the Samaritans were Israelites, but they were not Jews because they were not of Benjamin, Judah, or Levi. And the Samaritans descended from Joseph. You see here, she refers to our father Jacob. Now here it says, Jesus answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into eternal life. Then Jesus' disciples came to him and were surprised that he was talking to a woman, but said nothing of it. And then he took them and said, look up and look at these fields. And they said, it's 4 months to harvest. And Jesus said, look, they're ready. So Jesus is saying that harvest is ready once you've accepted him.